I'm Lance Yelvington for CyberCountry, and I've been around Nashville most of my life, and I've seen what's defined as country music change over the years. Good example of that is I don't think anybody would have seen in my childhood any place called the Red Geranium turning into a hit TV show for ABC called Nashville nowadays. Nobody could have seen that coming. Things change. But also, tradition stays the same, and a lot of stuff in terms of country music, though it seems like it's changing, isn't. In this CyberCountry Minute, we're going to talk to Daryle Singletary, who's going to tell us that even though a lot of country may be changing by the way people define it, what's traditional, what should be country, in the minds of most people, is still the same. In fact, in his mind, there's still a little country left.
Country music to me, I guess, if you, there's different ways I can answer that. One would be the music that I know most about, I guess, is traditional country music. I moved to Nashville listening to George Jones, Merle Haggard, Keith Whitley, Randy Travis, and I think if there's if you could in our live shows on the road, there's people that come that don't know me. I'm sure there's people that we did a tour last year in Walmart parking lots for Campbell Soup Company, and people would just pull up in their car before they walked into the store. They would stop and listen to a few songs, and some of them would stay for the whole show, and some of them would just listen to a few songs and leave. And I got to thinking and all that, I said, if I could play one song that epitomized traditional country music, it would be it is my most favorite country song. It's called I Never Go Around Mirrors. And if you listen to the song, I think every emotion that you can go through is in this song, of having your heart torn out, and because this woman left you, you can't even go around a mirror because she ain't by your side. And so when I think of traditional country music, I think of those songs that I sing, that George Jones sang, that Merle Haggard sang, that whether you've lived them or not, they're so real that you can sing it like you've lived it. It's just everything, every emotion that anybody could feel or touch, things like that if you might not know, it may not have happened to you personally, but you may have a best friend that it's happened to.
Mm-hmm.
I did a song, one of my early hits was called I Let Her Lie. I've never experienced that, thank goodness. The guy that wrote the song had never experienced it. But he wrote the song through the eyes of a friend of his that had experienced it. And so that emotion in that song is I think what traditional country music's all about. It's just it's songs that you can relate to, whether you've experienced it or not. You might know your best friend. It might have happened to your best friend, or it might have happened to your brother or something like that. But it's something that you can relate to.
Yeah. Well, this morning on the iPod, I Let Her Lie was on there, as well as Too Much Fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, the old stuff, and then listen to the new stuff too, which was pretty cool. But there's an evolution that takes place, especially for your music right now. How hard was it to put together this latest album? And what was the important thing that you wanted to get out with this new album?
I don't know that there's actually. I'm not trying to make any kind of statements with this record, really. I don't think I'm not trying to. The title of it's There's Still a Little Country Left. I've got a couple of songs on it that touch on the whole, idea of people coming into town just to make money, and they're kind of messing the music up a little bit, and they kind of getting away from what the music's all about. Forgetting about some of the folks that paved the way for us in a way. I've got a song on there that says it's too late to save the world, but we can still save country music. And I mean, I think they're great songs. It's nothing. I didn't record them because I'm trying to carry a torch, or I'm trying to run a flag up a pole. I'm trying to stand on a soapbox. This is just music from my heart, and and even in the Get Out of My Country song, I wrote it with Clint Daniels and Roger Springer, and it's our opinion. I mean, we were just sitting around discussing our opinion of how, you know, in the early '90s when I moved to town, and even in the mid '90s when I got my record deal, we didn't have American Idol. We didn't have, you know, whatever the other big shows are, you know, where we could graduate high school or not even be graduated high school and come on this show, and next thing you know, we're selling out, you know, 40,000 seat arenas, you know, and stuff. And we were just talking about, you know, how these people are so young. You know, I remember playing in the bars 4 and 5 hours a night and having a whiskey drunk dancing around the floor blowing cigarette smoke in my face, you know. And we were just saying how hard we worked to get here, and it's just become so easy to get a record deal and get on a bus and go play music. Never have stepped into a honky-tonk, but sing about it sometimes. And you know, put put Hank's name or Haggard's name in your song, and you know, you think you know about country. But I don't think I've done anything on this record that's different from anything I've done before. I just do music that's real to me, and the reason is because I'm a traditional country music fan, and I moved here as a fan, and 20 years later I'm still a traditional country music fan. I love George Jones and Merle Haggard, and those guys could interpret a song like nobody's business. And that's all I've ever wanted to do. And so with this record, that's all I wanted to do was just try to get, 10 great songs. We put 12 on there with a couple of bonus tracks, but I wanted to get 10 great songs that moved me, and hopefully that would, go over into the fans.
Well, what I found out that I really did like was the way you set up the first 5 songs, and just it sounded more traditional country, like you said. How hard was it putting together that list? Because I'm sure with your skills, you probably had a bunch of songs.
That's where the part gets hard, is putting together, trying to narrow it down to 10 songs, and then I wrote 3 on there, and I had 4 on there. And then right up to the day before we cut, I got a song pitched to me that Roger Springer and Carson Chamberlain wrote that I fell in love with. So I took one of my songs that I had written off of there to put this song on there. But this thing's been in the work for, 2.5, 3 years. We've been looking for stuff and making sure we got the right songs, and even the songs that I had a part of, the things are so much different. We wrote it like 2010, and wrote it with thinking, I'm gonna hopefully do another record, because after every one you're thinking, am I gonna do another one? And so they just, some of them sit around, and then some that I demoed the song Like Family that's on the record. And we had another song that was written by the same guy that got cut before we were able to cut. I think Joe Nichols cut a song that called Billy Graham's Bible that I demoed and was planning on putting on this record, but I'm flattered that it was good enough to make it, that somebody else thought it was good enough to put it on a record too. It's when you really, I moved here in 1990 knowing what kind of music I wanted to do, knowing what kind of style I wanted to sing. And I think when it comes to picking songs, it just happens that way. I know what kind of songs I want to do. And it just all works out, hopefully, in the end.
Now, why should somebody come out and get out and buy your record? Well, what's the compelling thing that you want them to know? This is the easy question.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what? I've said I've been. This is the last of a whole day of interviews, and I've I've answered questions one way early, and then I've kind of thought about it. But I'm pretty much the same thing. You know, this music that we do is traditional country music, and there's a certain person and a certain demographic that loves this kind of music. Those are the people that I made this record for. I'm not that guy that is unrealistic to think that I'm going to go out there and change the world with this music, that I'm going to go out there and change mainstream radio just because since 2009 now I'm putting a record out. There's a certain people that have been fans of mine for 20 years that don't have to ask themselves, what's this record going to be like? They're just asking me, when you going to come out with a new record? And so I don't know that I even worry about trying to get a market that I don't have because I'm 44 years old. The music that I love and that I'm a fan of and that I perform is maybe not the most popular music anymore at mainstream. But there's an audience out there that I still go to play for on the weekends that are going to buy this record. For those people that don't know it, if I don't know that there's any way I don't know if there's anything I could say that would give them a reason to buy it, other than I've got 4 small kids at home that need to be fed.
Honestly, best policy.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt. But that's really. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know that I could talk anybody about it, but I appreciate the support. Hi, folks. I'm Daryle Singletary. Thanks for stopping by CyberCountry. I want you to go out and get my new record. It releases on July the 28th. You can pre-order it now on iTunes and Amazon.com and also on my website, www.darylesingletary.net. If you get it from my website, pre-orders, I'll even sign it for you.